Hello, must do 0063 back for part 15 of Celeste, and if all goes well, the final part of this Let's Play. The only things I've got left to do, or at least for this Let's Play, I'm not going for all golden strawberries. The only things left to do are the remaining three seaside levels, so chapter 6, 7 and 8. So yeah, last time I collected the one golden strawberry I was going to get, which was the clear A side, or yeah, clear the A side of chapter 1 without dying, so I was able to pull that off. Possibly some other ones I could do, but again, frankly, I don't feel there's much point, given that I'm not going to get all, no chance of getting all of them. And we managed to beat the 5 seasides, so the first 5 chapters, all the seasides done. So yeah, last time it went by. Well, yeah, was very happy with how all that went, and yeah, let's just get into it then. So, the only things left, as I say, are the last 3 seasides. So let's do chapter 6, Reflections, Seaside. So, this one is again requiring some. I think this one's a little bit longer actually. I think this one actually is actually 4 screens long, and does require also does require a little bit annoyingly. Whoops! The use of the wall booster gimmick again. I don't feel like it's too bad in this level, but yeah, it's still. Oh bother! Still something I don't know, like to avoid if possible, and also having these bumpers, which of course are not random at all, but just, you know, you're never quite sure the direction in which you're going to go off. Can make pulling off some of these wall boosts a little bit tricky. Let's just put it that way. Cool, good. First screen done. Now we have one of those full screens, which I really enjoy. This one's going to be a little bit more difficult than the ones we experienced in Chapter 6 B-side, but oh well. Almost got that. I just need to be a little bit better placed with the feather. Okay, so we'll fall down there, we'll grab that feather, and we'll go up into that spike. Nice. But yeah, again, another fun screen. I loved all these falling screens in Chapter 6 B-side, and probably the A-side as well, but in particular the B-side ones. There's the naturally slightly more difficult ones, but really fun ones to pull off. And there, I feel like that feather, once you get out of that feather and survive, the rest, that's sort of the end of this area as well. So I don't think this one drags on for particularly long. Just need to pull off this really. I would have liked, however, to save. I suppose I could try it. There's no harm, I suppose, in trying it. I'm not sure it's going to work, but I would like to ultimately try and save the dash. Yes, okay, cool. So yeah, I feel like I'm going to need that. Yes, so good. Glad to pull that off. I was a little bit cuter there with the movements of the feather. I managed to get round to the wall a lot quicker there because yeah, my next inkling was to dash to that wall if I couldn't get over there, but then of course I wouldn't have been able to pull off the final manoeuvre. So yes, I absolutely needed to preserve my dash, and indeed I did. And we have another falling screen, but this isn't the last bit. In fact, I don't actually know whether we can scroll. We can. Maybe we can scroll the whole way. So maybe actually it only is 3 screens. I won't bother scrolling to the right hand side yet, but it feels like 4 screens because there is a sort of a checkpoint here, which again is generous because it didn't necessarily need to be one. But yes, there is actually a checkpoint to this screen. So we're going to be using this block, and we're going to miss the thing. Nice. I'm probably going to do that a little bit differently actually. Then I might. Well, I'm not actually sure there's much I can do differently. Too much. Maybe I could try and diagonal dash into it from below. I'm not quite sure that's a particularly good idea though. I definitely don't want to fall off that quick, so that's definitely not a good idea. But yeah, basically we're going to be trying to pull this block in almost every which way direction. So now we're going to put it to the side, not connect with it that high so that I careen back or bound off into the spikes. Yeah, diagonal dashing there is fine. That's a little bit further over to the left than I would ideally like it, because I've got to pull off much more of a distance from the wall. Yeah, so that should make that a bit easier. But that's a couple of times now I've jumped off the wall slightly too early now and just landed on the spikes. But of course I do need to get round for this bit quite quickly. I can't really hang around for that bit. So oh bother. Yeah, I bounced for that bit. I bounced off of the bumper block, obviously at a completely wrong angle. I need to get it far more over to the side, so I can hit that. Oh no! And then hopefully get on the block when it's at the bottom. So yeah, this bit doesn't go on for that much longer after this, thankfully, because this is quite tricky. Well, I think it's quite tricky, at least anyway. Oh no! I panicked. I collected the dash refresher, and I was like immediately, oh dash! But no, I needed to fall just a little bit further there. I do like the fact that obviously there's sort of plenty of. Oh my goodness, I felt that was too soon. But anyway, cool. We made it to the halfway point, the checkpoint. What was I about to say? Yeah, I like the fact that there's sort of little gaps on the walls where the big block is gonna fling in, is gonna obviously crash into it. So it means you don't have to sort of pull off other manoeuvres where you something like manage to sort of try to stay in the air for a particularly long period, or have to pull off a wall boost or something like that. I like the fact it's quite simple there, and that all you have to do is ride the block in a particular height, and you'll be safe. The block doesn't crash completely into the wall. There's a little kind of nook on each side of it, so you can stay safe, and that's much appreciated. Believe me. Yes, we'll use this one now to scroll across for the second half of this screen. As I say, it's all one screen, but thankfully, very thankfully, yeah, we do get a save point here, so we don't ding it. And in fact, we'll see that now, obviously, because I've died. So yeah, make it to that point there, and yeah, you don't have to do the whole thing in one go. I feel like this would actually be, I don't know. I almost want to. I kind of want to say unreasonable, but remember we are playing a seaside level here, so would it be all that unreasonable? I'm not sure. Ding it, missed that. As you might have seen there, where we're not out of the woods from a wall boost idea now as well. So we've got a loop around here. Collect. Ah, ding it! I wasn't high enough to collect the dash refresher there. But yeah, we've still got the wall boost. I'm having to pull off the wall boost at times. Ding it! Yeah, grab. Whoa! No! I careened into a couple of times now. I've careened into the bumpers from underneath now, and obviously no good at all whatsoever. Ding it! That one there, I feel like it may be one of the more difficult ones, because as you saw from the go, I didn't collect the dash refresher. I need to be sort of pretty high up. That was much better. Ding it! I need to be pretty high up. But wow, that was appalling. But equally, I need to clear the spikes. So yeah, and that one seems like it's a bit further away as well. So yes, let's just try and okay, let's not do that. I was like, okay, let's maybe I might do that once actually. I might bounce. That's no good. I might bounce on that one, the furthest one I got there once, just to try and reset myself. But as you clearly saw there, it's actually still quite a narrow area there, and I'm pretty much going to have to almost hit it perfectly vertically in order to not careen into the spikes. So yeah, let's not do that actually. No. Yeah, there's a very, very tight area there where I would be safe. So I might maybe try and bounce on it once just to steady myself, but not any more than that. Ding it. And again, like I said, getting the horizontal position underneath those blocks tends to be one of the major difficulties for me with this boost gimmick. Okay, once maybe, and then go. Got it. I was kind of worried because I didn't feel like I got off the bumper anywhere near as good there. I almost careened into the spikes first go. I had to sort of reset myself, and then the second go I didn't catch it anywhere near as much on the right hand side as I wanted to, but thankfully I had just enough to reach the dash refresher, and from there enough to reach the crystal heart. I think I would have actually been fine at that point in time anyway, even if I hadn't dashed through the heart, because as long as I touched the heart, I would have bounced off it, and then I would have got my dash back as well. So all I would have had to have done there was touch the heart. If I hadn't dashed through it first off, and then I could have immediately dashed again, and then I'd have got it. So I wasn't worried about the heart as soon as I got the dash refresher, but yeah, that was still a bit of a close run thing. I didn't hit the bumper anywhere near as much on the right hand side as I would have liked. But no, that was good. That was kind of fun. I like that one. I like that one a lot. Chapter 6 was one. Again, I don't feel like the wall boost there is too bad. There's that one at the very end of that section, which is, again, was very, very annoying when I was first playing this game, because, again, I hadn't mastered that. I sort of mastered that technique by now, but I was just absolutely awful at it. And, again, to have that at the end of a section with a whole bunch of bumpers that you have to be quite precise on was, yeah, again, caused me no end of frustration first time round, because I had another at that point in time in my head, silly wall boost, silly wall boost at the end of a ginormous section, which, yeah, and given that I hadn't got the hang of it, was very, very irritating. But anyway, Chapter 6, Reflection Seaside done. Let's move on to Chapter 7, The Summit Seasides. And, yeah, well, this one will teach... This one, if you haven't mastered or got very, very, very good at the wall boost so far, this one will certainly get you to that point. I would have said first time I played this absolutely was the most difficult level, because I had not got the hang of the wall boost at all. I'm going to reset that. I had just, yeah, not got the hang of the wall boost at all. And, yeah, this coupled with some stuff like, dang it, can I save myself? Yes. Yeah, coupled with the third screen of this section in particular, it was just a nightmare. I was having an absolute nightmare, and I'm not even sure I died there. I think that was, I didn't do it like, I think it was first go without dying. It wasn't without its points where I had to reset and everything, but wow. I would say that screen took maybe about 20 minutes, half an hour to do first time around, because I had not got the hang of that wall boost at all. And that, I'm pretty sure, although I was able to save myself because I messed up, but not die, I'm pretty sure that was first go. Wow. I guess the other thing to point out here is we do have the double dash mechanic in place, so yeah, just remember you've got that. And there's my first death on the, by far, I would say, easiest screen of this stage. Lovely. I might do it second. No, I'm not going to do it second go because I didn't hang in the air long enough to grab on that block. But yeah, again, much shorter screen this one. That's better. Oh no, unbelievable! Now three deaths on this screen, and possibly more to come, and none on the first one. Are you kidding me? 4 deaths. Okay, fine, lovely. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I was like expecting the worst first time round as well. I was like 5 deaths. I was like, oh my god, that took 20 minutes, half an hour to clear. What else could you possibly have in store for me? 6? What else could you possibly have in store for me later on? And I was extremely pleasantly surprised by this screen, which I'm not pleasantly surprised about it now. That's 8 deaths, and by far the worst one there by a million miles, and maybe even one of the worst in this entire Let's Play. I didn't grab the coin that go, are you kidding me? 9 deaths now. Wow. If there was... Yeah, if there... Are you joking me? 10! Wow! I take it all back. This is the worst screen. This is the worst screen in Celeste. This is the most difficult one. What is going on here? No! I'm not... wow, I don't recall ever getting to the point where I, like, collected the coin, but I'm unable to grab this block. That's so bad. It's not a difficult screen at all. That still, admittedly, only was it 10 or 11 deaths? I can't. Yeah, I think it was double digits still. But wow, I was not expecting that one to cause anywhere near as many problems as it did. I was expecting the first one to take ages, but oh boy. That brings us to the third screen, and if the first one took me 20 minutes to half an hour, this one took double that. I'd say easily 45 minutes, if not closer to an hour, if possibly not even over an hour. After a certain point in time, time just sort of like ends up just getting away from me. I really couldn't tell you with a particular degree of accuracy how long this level took to complete. It's got so many intricate areas where you have to be almost perfect with your dash. It's got wall boosting sections. It's got everything. And again, with not being very good at the wall boost gimmick when I came to this first time, this was easily the hardest screen in the game. Easily, first time round. We'll see if it turns out to be that way this time. But funnily enough, save for the wall boosting bit. We'll see how it goes now, and I feel like I'm better at it. I feel like this screen is actually kind of fun. Now, not when I first did it by any means. I was just getting about as pissed off as I ever had on the game, because I was just, you know, it was just by far the most difficult thing that I'd encountered in the game. But yeah, I actually feel like it's quite a fun area. Going a bit quiet here, we'll have to concentrate. No, I got all dashed there, or maybe the first diagonal dash there was okay. I don't think it was. I think I wanted the vertical dash there, or probably get a bit more momentum off the spring there. But yeah, once I got to this bit's kind of fun. I love the. I missed the spring. I do love the weaving through these spike areas to hit the springs and everything. It's yeah, honestly, okay. That feels like one of those manoeuvres that I would have to pull off to get the dashless golden strawberry that I did completely accidentally there, and yeah, could barely ever repeat. Another reason why I'm not going for the dashless strawberry in stage 1. And I did it again. Wow, okay. I think that's okay. Yeah, that wasn't though. I dashed too early there. Bother. But yeah, hopefully it's fairly evident that these are very narrow paths that we're having to navigate through here. So yeah, you have to be blooming accurate here. That's no, I could have salvaged that, but no, I was actually fine. I mean, I would have been way off my rhythm there, which is why what? I would have been, yeah, I was way off my rhythm there, so I would have had to have a lot of sort of wherewithal to salvage that, but nah. I dashed way too late, and yeah, threw my timing off completely. Okay, that is really odd. I don't recall ever landing there with any consistency before, and now it's like I'm landing there every bleeding time. It's certainly interesting. I'm certainly not trying to do it. That's too early there. Bother. We also have to say haven't got to the bit yet with the wall boosting. So yeah, that could be a bit of a thing. That could be certainly very difficult, and was certainly probably the area of this screen that probably caused me the most frustration. First off, there we go. And I messed it up. But yeah, you hit the spring on the top left hand side there, and you have to use both dashes to get over to that tiny little block. I mean, I haven't noticed it while I was playing, but I believe from watching like earlier versions or earlier patches or whatever of the game that I'll save it till I get back there. Actually, I'm dashing way too early there. I need to calm down and just not dash anywhere near as early on that section there. Go over to the right hand side a lot more. There was no way I was going to pull that off. I didn't get anywhere near as much height as I wanted to. Whoa! Well, let's try that again. I didn't get nearly as much height off of the next spring on this spring. That goes, so there was no way I was going to get. I knew there was no way I was going to get over that, but well, I had to at least give it a try. But I was pretty much consigned to not pulling that off. No. The thing I don't want to do there, and the reason why that spring is actually proving quite tricky to get, is because I don't want. I'm deliberately trying not to bounce off the cloud too high because there are spikes above me. And I'm very, very worried about just going into those spikes. So that was better. But yeah, those spikes up there above the wall, I don't believe were actually there before. So yeah, in a later version of the game. So I'm going to go. No! Oh no! That would have sent me cursing first time I played it through when I died there, and I did die there because I certainly was almost highly unlikely to pull that section off first go without getting at least a little practice on it. But yeah, after all the tribulations of getting up to that point, yeah, dying on that was as was that. Dying on that was. Yeah, that was fairly rage-inducing, and it wasn't just the one time that I died there. Because again, you just having got through all of that, you just panic. Everything, you're just twitching on the buttons and everything. You sort of like everything you want to do just that little bit quicker than what you'd expect to do. But yeah, going back to my point, those spikes above the oh no, those spikes above that wall boost, where the bit area where you wall boost, weren't originally there. So you actually didn't have to pull off the wall boost originally. You could just go over the wall boost or over the little ledge and collect the dash refresher. Collect the dash refresher afterwards. So you didn't need to pull off the wall boost, which was presumably a slight oversight in the development of the. Yeah, there we go. There's the cloud. There's why. That is exactly why I don't want to hang around on that cloud for too long. But yeah, assuming that was a sort of developer oversight or stage design oversight. That was some spikes were put in the later versions of the game to prevent people from cheating that section. So yeah, now you have to do it that way. You could also do this bit by going up through, by weaving up through there, but I don't want to do that, frankly. Dang it! I want to take the downward route. It does mean I have to not hang around on the cloud, but as I commented on, I think in one of the... What stage would it have been? I think it would have been stage 7's B-side. There was one section where I had to sort of weave through the clouds, and I was calling it one of the most difficult sections for me. That would be very similar in that regard, so I'd have to pull off... Ding it! You probably couldn't see it too well there, but I'd have to pull off a really, really nice manoeuvre by bouncing off the cloud really high, and I don't want to do that. I want to take the lower route. The fact that again that there is a gap there, and the fact that a small sort of jump off of that cloud sets yourself up quite nicely to be able to pull that off. Yeah, I'm taking the lower route, absolutely. So yeah, lower route here rather than the higher route every day. It does mean it's a little bit, not much, admittedly, and I hadn't messed up the other times I'd gotten there, got to that point before, but as you saw there, it does make probably hitting that final spring just a little bit trickier, but it shouldn't be so, you know, I'll take my chances on that, frankly, than trying to pull off the higher weave any day of the week. So yeah, I'm taking the lower path there. So yeah, I feel like now, again, we've played this for quite a little bit long now. I've got back a feel for ultimately everything that's in the screen. So hopefully this shouldn't take too long. Cool, and just remember to rush dash off there. Oh yeah, don't hang about on that wall thinking to celebrate too early, thinking you've done it. That little wall you're gonna grab on first off descends or crumbles and falls away. So yeah, just be prepared. Do not celebrate early. Be prepared to climb up that wall and do it quickly, because the last thing you want to do after getting through that screen, which admittedly wasn't so bad, I don't think for me it was so bad. The last thing you want to have to do ultimately is that screen again. But yay! That again, I'm pretty happy with that. I think I've not done exactly how long that took, but yeah, stage 7 Seaside was easily the trickiest for me. Before I'd say total, it probably took me somewhere approaching at least an hour and a half to clear. Oh yeah, yeah, I've done it in I'd say 15 minutes or fewer this time round. So yay, happy days. But yeah, we're not quite done yet. I assume it's possible to mess up this end, so let's not do that. But let's talk to you first. It's hard to believe that it's over, isn't it? Funny how we get attached to the struggle. Promise me that you'll take care of yourself, okay? Well? What are you waiting for? Okay, there's no more dialogue, so yes, let's not mess up. Double dashing into the crystal heart. Yeah, I assume I haven't tested it, and I actually haven't seen anyone do it, because I've obviously watched quite a few people play this game after I'd cleared it through, so I wasn't spoiled by anything. But I actually would be slightly interested. I've never had the guts to do it because that last screen is particularly difficult. But I've never had the guts to die on after you've talked to Granny and see what happens, where you respawn in. Do you get sent back to the beginning of the area, or do you get sent back to just that ledge? I haven't ever had the guts to actually do it, so I'd be interested to find out what that does. I might actually do that because there's no pressure to do it after I finish this Let's Play, just my own curiosity. Because again, 42 deaths on Chapter 7 Seaside, I would bite your hand off. So if I could replicate that again, and ultimately I'm not doing it for this Let's Play, I feel like I'm content enough to clear the stages and actually find out for myself. So, as I say, don't bother, unless you want to, don't bother leaving a comment or anything in outlining actually what does happen there, whether you are safe. In almost all likelihood, I will replay that stage again and find out for myself. But yeah, I am curious as to whether or not you have to do the whole of that screen again, or whether you get set on the platform where Granny is and you only have to just go and collect the crystal heart at your leisure. But anyway, yeah. Chapter 7 Seaside done, and that leaves us with only one thing left. The core Chapter 8 Seaside, and then we will be done. And if you count the hearts over there, so 3 rows of 6 and 1 row of 5, 23 hearts, and we've cleared 23 levels again. So, again, like Chapter 8 B-side, you would have to collect all the hearts in order to progress through. You didn't have to do that in order to access Chapter 8 A-side. You only have to collect 4 hearts out of the 7 on offer previously previously up to that point, but for the B side you had to have collected all 15, and to access the final level, Chapter 8 C side, you have to have collected all previous 23. So here we get introduced to another gimmick in the final stage of the game, and this is where. So I'm just going to sort of. Actually, I'm not sure I can go backwards here. Whether I'll lose my. Since I'm still outside, do I get my dash back? I do. Okay. So basically, this is what speedrunners would do. I've not mastered this by any means. I use it where I have to, and that's about it. In this area, but other than that, unless I'm in a pinch. But frankly, if I'm in a pinch, I'm highly unlikely to be able to pull this off in the heat of the moment. But this is basically the technique that allows speedrunners to whiz through the game in like literally no time at all. And you can use this, which I haven't been doing through the rest of the game. But yeah, you can use this technique to just bypass a lot of other narrow pits and all that, and yeah, this is a phenomenal speed running technique, and once you know it, it makes the game so much easier. Again, you can do this from the get-go if you know about it. I could have cleared some of Chapter 1 A-side screens using this ability, but again, you don't learn about it until you get to Chapter 8 C-side, so I had no plans to use this at all. I sort of employed this when I got so for example, I jumped and then dashed again when I was getting to the secret room in Chapter 6. So I sort of had to show it off a little bit there. But other than that one area where I also spoiled the wall boost gimmick, that was the only time I certainly at least deliberately used this technique. Because it is quite tricky for me to pull off consistently and quickly. So I use it when I have to, but not otherwise. So yeah, basically we hold the down button and the direction we want to move in, and we press the jump and the dash button, and we can whiz through the areas and get a lot farther with our dash. The thing that tends to happen to me, and it's probably much more notable here, in the sense of the low ceilings, but yeah, that is extremely liable to happen. I dash too high, I end up jumping too high and careening into the spikes above. It's it's another gimmick that I just never quite seem to get the hang of really well at all. Unfortunately, the final manoeuvre that we have to pull off in the game, or the final bit of the game, the final manoeuvre is that, and it comes at the end of a ridiculously long horizontal scrolling screen. So with no save beforehand or anything like that. So if I mess up on that, I've got to do the whole bleeding long horizontal screen all over again. So yeah, again, can't say I use that technique all that well. I'm not very good with it, and I only use it when I have to. But yeah, it's going to come into play. I mean, that first bit's fine. Again, if you die, you start there immediately again. There's no real hardship. But getting to the very last bit of the final screen, only to mess that up. Oh, that's annoying. Yeah. So let's scroll this across. So this is already technically our third screen. The first screen was a bit of a nothing screen with just opening up the area with the crystal hearts. That was our second screen, and this is our third screen. So yeah, we do get more screens in this final area. I think I'm going to have to use both my dashes there. Both the dashes there. I can't really see a good way of pulling that off unless you're going to pull off some kind of epic manoeuvre that I'm just not very good at. I'm assuming, yeah, I'm going to have to ride this up through there and then use both dashes to hopefully grab the right-hand edge of the next block and knock the spikes. Well. Okay. Yet again, diagonal dashing. I've got to get that in one last time. Diagonal freaking dashing. Okay, good. No! Blast! I didn't get my... didn't collect the dash refresher, because again in chapter 8 you don't get unlike chapter 6 that we just saw a little bit earlier, you don't get your dash reset for hitting one of the bouncing, or what the hell of a bumper blocks. Let's just call it a bumper block. So yeah, we saw that in chapter 6 where we did get it back, but yeah, in chapter 8 the mechanic or the gimmick works slightly differently, so we don't get it back. So we are going to have to hit that dash refresher. Oh no! All I needed to do was hit the right-hand edge of that bumper block, and we would have been done with that screen. It's still not too bad, not too difficult. So, again, here's hoping it shouldn't take too long to do. But the end section there with the bumper blocks is again always one that sort of makes me kind of nervous because again I haven't got a dash to sort of reset myself, and again I'm never 100% confident in which direction I'm gonna hit the bumper blocks, and how cute I'm going to have to be with my movements to sort of survive. So yeah, for example, hitting the right hand side of that one and collecting the and collecting the dash refresher. I missed that one because I didn't want to. I felt like I was going to careen into it too much on the right hand side there, so I held back, and then at the end of the day I ended up not hitting it at all. So that's what I wanted to do first time around. Well, I dashed on when I got that far previously, I sort of dashed upwards to the left hand side, which meant I was mucking around a bit more. That was much the easier way of pulling it off. Hit the get the dash refresher, go a long way to the right, dash upwards then once I'm on the right hand side of the final bumper, and then go across. So yeah, that was the way I was intending to do it. The previous go I got there, but I messed it up. And I think this is now the final screen. So yeah, let's scroll it all the way along. It's going to take a long time to scroll across, so I guess somewhat apologies for that. But as I say, I've done every single other scrolling bit, so it would seem silly at this point in time not to do this one. Yeah, like I said, very long section. And then we come to this at the end. So yeah, this is the last little bit, little bird up there again. There is our crystal heart. You can see we're going to have to pull off that fancy jump dash maneuver where we get a lot of extra momentum and pull that off. If it weren't for the spikes on the ceiling, that wouldn't be so bad at all. But yeah, the spikes on the ceiling there, as you clearly saw, I'm going to just cancel out of this rather than scroll all the way back because yeah, it's bloody long. But yeah, as you saw when on pretty much well, it would have been the second screen. Well, the first time we saw this gimmick, I was jumping into the spikes on the ceiling quite a lot. So yeah, that's liable to happen there. And yeah, after such a long section and with the very final bit right next to the crystal heart, that could be kind of annoying. Looking at the time as well, we're at half an hour now. No, I've got 2 dashes and I'm going to need to keep them. I was absolutely right to do Chapter 5 Seaside last time as well, because yeah, this is going to, as I thought it would do, take a while. But yeah, apologies, I've sort of skipped up. No, I need to collect the dash refresher there. Probably skipped over quite a bit at the beginning, but yeah, this is a ridiculously long section. Where we've got yeah, the fire ice gimmick, obviously fire ice in play. We've got the fire ice from the ceiling as well. No, wrong. We've got bumper blocks. We've got blocks with momentum. We've got dash refreshers. Yeah, the whole shebang. And yeah, it's basically. There are only certain points in time where you're realistically, plasma here as well. I haven't actually been sort of like kept a deliberate note here like I did with Chapter 8's B-side, but I would actually assume, given that that's a Chapter 1 platform, and that this is a Chapter 2 platform, that we're this is a Chapter 2 gimmick with the gel, that we are pretty much going to get references to every chapter, platforms or mechanics in every chapter again. Although we've gone past the cloud and into Chapter 5 now, so the clouds would have been 4. That platform there with the momentum would be 5. This would be 6. And I think I've messed that up. I don't think I've got a dash here now, so I'm not sure I'm being able to pull this. Oh, there's a spring there. Never mind. That's going to refill it. So's that as well. So just some careful dashing here. Off of, oh, nuts! The fire was a bit too high there. I probably actually could have stalled that out a little bit longer so the fire wasn't quite so high there. I might look to do that actually. Assuming I've got some safe ground to stand on, I might actually do that. Yeah, I'm waiting for my Chapter 3 gimmick, and it's doesn't seem to be there because yeah, the clouds will be 4, and the platform with the dash on with all the momentum will be 5, and this thing will be 6. Okay, so yeah, that's going to reset my stuff. Okay, so I probably just want to try and maybe do this a bit quicker so the fire is not quite so high, and then maybe stall that out a bit longer. You know, I'm a bit better there. Yep. Okay. Oh no! I think I'm doing pretty well though. I haven't got a dash. I don't know what the hell I'm doing there. Again, I shouldn't have said I was doing pretty well. The second I say anything like that, it all goes to pot. So yeah, I'm expecting now a couple of disastrous goes. But yeah, we were pretty. Exactly. Yeah, we were very near the end there. Obviously, we still had that manoeuvre with the narrow ceilings and the super jump that I showed or talked about earlier. But yeah, we actually were very near the end of the screen, and thank goodness, because it does go on for what seems like a freaking eternity. Okay, cool. So that. Careful, I don't run out of momentum before I hit the spring. So ideally I want to get through this section quicker so that the ice is on screen for longer. So that means the fire is not quite so high up here. Again, I don't think that was a very good idea, but... Okay, it's... No! Ah! Dang it! You saw the bit, you saw the area, you would have seen the area there over the right hand side with the long straight platform. That was it. I just couldn't quite get up on the... I'm in a bit of trouble here. Yeah, that was bad. I just could not quite, or didn't have quite enough height to clear like what presumably was the final spike sticking out on that wall. Oh, how irritating. Again, no guarantee I'd have pulled off the fancy manoeuvre, but nah, that was so close. So yeah, I think I'm doing a slightly better job now of getting the fire where no, that's wrong. Yeah, that's completely wrong. And I could stay here for infinity now, but I just keep collecting this thing. But actually, no, of course, yeah, I've got no dash, so I can't do that now. I don't know what I did. I don't know what I was playing at there. I used a dash unnecessarily, and of course, yeah, it doesn't reset, so I'm stuck. As I say, I could have stayed there forever, just going back and forward between the fire and the ice, and neither one would have ever got me. But that's terrible. But yeah, not really much point to that. Unless the doorbell rang or the phone rang or something, and I didn't feel like just stalling out there for whatever reason. Okay, good. Yeah, make sure you don't spend too long on those clouds. Again, clearly, if you stay on there for too long and you get a lot of momentum when you jump, you're going to go into the the ice spikes above you. Okay, good. Try and do this bit a little bit quicker so that the ice remains for longer. A little bit close for comfort. Yeah, I am going to wait that out a bit long. No, not that long. I think I had the right idea there. I don't know actually whether I'm trying to do maybe a little bit too much too soon by going on the right-hand edge of one of those ice blocks too early. I don't think so, and clearly it's doable because that's what I did the go I got the furthest. But yeah, maybe I'm trying to pull off something there that I don't need to, or is a slightly unnecessary manoeuvre to pull off, and that is an easier way of doing it. That was really bad. But yeah, I think I've got the right idea there in stalling out. Making the ice stay on screen for a little bit longer. But of course, I need to be careful. I'm very careful, conscious of not hanging around, clinging to the wall for too long because I don't want to run out of stamina. That would be disastrous. If there's going to be any way I'm going to, yeah, that would just be the worst way ever to mess up on that section. So. That's not very good. I just about grabbed that wall. That was almost terrible. So yeah, I feel like I've got nearly there a couple of times. I mean, I'm just praying I don't mess up on that final manoeuvre when I get there. But yeah, for the long section this is, I still don't feel like it's it's not the worst thing in the world. Let's put it that way. For some reason, I feel like now the fire here is just a little bit like if I try and do this. So okay, so that's there a little bit longer this time, and I've got more time to make that jump. Okay, now let's grab this. and hopefully we don't mess up the final manoeuvre, which is bound to happen. Fantastic. Like I said, that manoeuvre, I'm never good at it, which is why I would never do anything like speedrun the game, because it's pretty much just a constant thing throughout an entire speedrun. I'm never good at it. I prefer the... I hated the wall boost gimmick before. Now I think I'm actually much better at it, and I kind of like it. But this one, I don't say I don't like it, but I'm just not very good at it at all. And thankfully, it's a sort of one. Obviously, we get introduced to the wall boost one in Chapter 7's B-side, so there are lots of areas, lots of stages through the rest of the game where you pretty much have to do it. The manoeuvre you have to do here. This manoeuvre, this fancy manoeuvre here, is only required in Chapter 8 Seaside. You do not have to use it at all anywhere else in the game. And that's much appreciated for someone like me who is not very good with it at all. Bugger. That's clumsy and not how I want to be dying. I mean, if I'm going to be dying at all. So yeah, missed the refresher. Yeah, we're already at 40-minute mark. This one again was as I said at the end of the last video. No, thank you. This one was going to be the sort of the hit and miss one. Chapter 7 didn't turn out not to be anywhere. I mean, the final screen gave me some problems. Gave me a few problems as I knew it would, but. This was sort of the kind of the hit and miss one that I felt like, this one could go either way. This one could go really well, or it could go terribly. At the moment, it's getting toward the going terribly mark. Maybe not in the grand scheme of things, but yeah. I do not want this video to go on too long. We're already past the 40-minute mark. I do not want to do that. I do not want to cut to a successful run, because I've done everything else up to this point at this point in the game with live commentary and everything like that, and I've cut nothing. So I do not want to have to resort to cutting on Stage 8 course. Stage 8 Seaside, and the very last screen and the very last thing that I'd actually have to do in this Let's Play. So I desperately don't want to cut, but equally, as I said, I don't want this to go on too long. So at some point in time, I'm going to have to make a judgment call as to what I do here. And here's hoping that I can pull this off. Not too far from now, but nah. I actually don't think I need to be quite as cute as I was there. No! I wasn't anywhere near far enough on the right-hand side of the platform. Again, that was an absolutely awful death. I had so much time there. I'd planned out the ice fire, so I had tons of time. That's no good. I had tons of time there. On the platform at the bottom, the lava was not going to rise anywhere near up quick enough to put me off, and I was nowhere near far enough over the right-hand side. And I probably still could have salvaged it by pulling off a better jump off of that platform. But a combination of A, not being anywhere near far enough over to the right hand side as I wanted to be, and just not getting anywhere near enough momentum with the jump as I wanted to. That was terrible, absolutely terrible. I mean, here's hoping, A, I can get back to that again pretty quickly, and that B, I can pull that off this time. I've actually set off there a bit sooner, and I've completely messed up the wall jumping section there. Okay. Clearly that final bit is causing, final stretch is now causing some problems, which, of course, it is very irritating, because if there's any section that I want to be causing me a lot of problems, it's going to be the beginning section, so that I can keep replaying it again and again quite quickly, and that I'm not, of course, spending up to 30 seconds to a minute travelling through a screen only to mess up right at the end. On stuff, by the way, that was just appalling. On stuff, by the way, that is absolutely no gimme whatsoever. I feel like I'm really needing to concentrate here. Not to the point where, like I have in lots of other Let's Plays, where I've almost said I need to go silent here and actually concentrate. Really? To the point where I feel like I need to shut up now, or that, ultimately I'll need to cut at the moment in order to fully concentrate on this. But yeah, I've been so close now, quite a few times, and yeah, starting to get mildly frustrating. I'm not going to lie. That fire is a lot higher up than it has been previously, so I'm a bit concerned here. But I probably want to do this a bit quicker. Because yeah, I'm slightly worried it's going to be higher here now. No! If I do that, by the way, I'll cuss until I get back here. I haven't done that, have I? I want to make sure I haven't done that and haven't cut during this Let's Play. I've done it again. I've done it again. Where I've not stood anywhere near on the right hand edge of that platform. I don't know what I'm playing at there. That is awful. Once is bad enough, having recognised that I've done it, but to have now done that 3 times in probably in the space of the last 10 minutes, possibly even 5 minutes, is just absolutely stupid. I've been talking about it, been saying absolutely what I need to, that I need to avoid doing that. And I keep doing it. That's absolutely pathetic. But yeah, but if I do accidentally hit the restart, then I think I will cut. It hasn't happened as of yet so far, so I don't want to. Yeah, let's hope that not right on the right hand side, please. Are you kidding me? Right, can we please pull this off? Can we please pull this off? No, we can't, because did I mess up again and not and almost for the exact same reason? I wasn't possibly on the very right. What the hell am I doing there? That is awful. I wasn't on the very right hand edge of that ledge. And again, I've not got enough distance from the right hand side to land on the platform. I've clung onto it. And I again presume, because I wasn't standing far enough over to the right-hand side to reach the platform. That's twice I've now done that, and that's almost equally as unforgivable as not being on the right-hand side of the platform to get on the fire platform to get up to that ledge in the first place. Because it's the exact same reason. I need to set myself further over to the right-hand side so that I can pull off the manoeuvre. I mean, don't get me wrong, as I said, it is rather irritating for me to have that as the last thing to pull off with a manoeuvre that I'm not especially a fan of or cannot or don't do very well with on such a long section. Because again, I haven't sort of timed out how long it takes to get from start to end here, but it is a long time, and to say to have to pull off all these manoeuvres, which barely any of them are gimmies. I really feel like I am having to concentrate properly and pull off some pretty nice manoeuvres. To have to pull that off at the end is just frustrating. I'd almost rather it with a wall boost. Believe me, I didn't think I'd ever say that at one point in time. Okay, right hand edge. Right, let's again stand on the very right-hand edge, and we'll do that because that one I honestly don't feel well. Obviously, it's my fault in the sense that I'm not very good at that mechanic, but that you saw that happen an awful lot on the second screen, where you had to pull that off maneuver for the first time. And I said those spikes on the ceiling there when I even showed off the rest of the screen that they were going to be an annoyance. I was liable to hit them because they are. It's a very low ceiling, and it's very very easy to do that. Since I'm not very good at the mechanic, I am very liable to hit those spikes. And again, very irritating. I was way 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 close to the lava there than I should have been. Right. Okay, good, we're done. Okay, that actually, I mean, it took quite a while. I'll get rid of the screeching, but yes, final Crystal Heart complete. That is all 24. We've done Chapter 8, the core seaside. We finish on that lovely little image there, which I might leave up on the screen for a little bit longer. I think the music's actually going to die down now and not be too loud. Maybe not. Yes, it's going to die unless it re-loops. But yeah, we'll leave that image up there. That wasn't so bad. Again, that could have been worse. The video's actually gone on 50 minutes, and I say I definitely made the right decision to do Chapter 5 Seaside in the last video because yeah, I think I cleared those 5 plus the Golden Strawberry for in stage 1A quicker than I did these three stages here. So yeah, definitely made the right call there. But ultimately, that still wasn't too bad. Lots of deaths there. I'll obviously show off how many. I'm guessing in the hundreds. No? Okay, obviously, long sections, I suppose, so I'm getting to the end and maybe not dying too much. That felt like obviously took quite a lot of time, but only 56 deaths. But I suppose, particularly that last screen, it was at the very end of the section, so it probably wasn't suffering too many deaths per se. It was just taking a long time to get to that point. But yay. That's everything I can do, or everything I am planning on doing during this Let's Play. I'll show off the little notebook there to show off, that everything is done. As again, I mentioned that the reason I haven't got a star against Old Sight and the Summit is because I didn't get all collectibles in one run. So in Old Sight, I deliberately avoided getting the Crystal Heart because I want to show off getting to the end of the screen without getting it, which basically shows you the hint to where you need to go to get it at the beginning. And the Summit, I messed up because I missed one of the gems, which would have allowed me to unlock or get access to the Crystal Heart for that level. So yeah, I restarted. Thankfully, I was able to get back to the Chapter 2 area, but of course, with a reset, it didn't count as doing it all in one go. So that's why I've not got a star against the Summit stage. But yeah, there are my stats. I was actually going to show off the titles, or the save select screen. I will still do that just to again show off and compare these stats against my second go through. There's no point comparing it to the first one, but you can see them there. 1,290 guests in total, and just over 10.5 hours with 176 strawberries. Here you can see again the times taken for full clears and bits and pieces. So again, I've not got full clears on Old Sight or the Summit. I haven't even actually got a clear time for Summit, which is interesting. But again, I'm assuming that's because I restarted it. But oh well, never mind. There are all the fewest deaths recorded on all the B sides and such. And again, I haven't got a Summit. I haven't got a record for the Summit. The last screen is, the second last one is just showing us all the Crystal Hearts. So I'll just quickly scroll through. Sorry, the A and the B side ones, the C side ones don't have names against them. So I'll just quickly show all those off, and the global Steam stats, which I don't really care about one way or the other. So yeah, let's just go back to the stage select screen, and we can see here, yeah, 1,290 deaths, just over 10.5 hours, compared to the second time going through, obviously not on a blind one, 2,222, again, a lovely, easily rememberable number of deaths, and just shy of 9.5 hours. So it's, yeah, almost 1,000 deaths fewer. It took me an hour longer, but again, the time is just is not really comparable in that sense because of cutscenes and dialogue and all those bits and pieces. I would have strongly imagine, given the fact that I've suffered almost 1,000 fewer deaths, that if I cut out all the cutscenes and all the times I've just spent talking, just generally on screens where I've stopped playing for a little while to discuss something, if I take out all those sections and literally just stacked up all the actual game footage where I'm properly playing, I imagine it would be considerably less than 9.5 hours. So yeah, again, I've made some real progress. Again, of course, I understand 6 strawberries as I got in all 3 save files. So yeah, I think that's been pretty good. But yeah, the reason for the time discrepancy or the time difference, or it's looking like it's taken longer third time round, is of course this time around I have not skipped any of the cutscenes, and again I've also talked through the game just generally. But yeah, I guess that's it for the gameplay. I'll keep this under an hour, but I do want to definitely sum up and just give my final thoughts on the game, as I sort of did during the credit sequence way back in, I want to say, part 8, possibly. Yeah, part 8, I think. But I mean, I don't know what else there's really much to say on this game from my perspective. This is just an absolutely phenomenal game. One that, again, just came completely out of left field, hadn't even heard of it, got it as a birthday gift from my brother, and which was only been about 2 months ago since the date I'm recording this. In fact, fewer than 2 months, as at the day I am recording the footage for this. Time-wise, I imagine this will be going up on YouTube somewhere around the end of October, beginning of November, around about that time, if my scheduling is what I think it's going to be. But yeah, as at the time I'm recording this, end of September, so the first part of this hadn't even gone up, hadn't been even uploaded as of yet. It's fewer than 2 months I've even known the game, and I've now cleared it through 3 times, and of course 1 as a Let's Play. But I mean, this is just an absolutely phenomenal game. Easily would be near the top of my favourite games of all time list. It's just so damn good. the minor nitpicks I have on it are almost. I feel like they could possibly even be controller issues that I've got, like that blooming restart chapter thing. It didn't happen during this Let's Play, thank God. But yeah, that just sort of is an annoying controller setup that I can't do anything about. Yeah, sometimes the diagonal dashing just seems to be. Or it does. Yeah, I've commented it so many times, but yeah, I diagonal dash when I don't want to, and sometimes I don't diagonal dash when I really do. I don't know again whether that's just my controller not being the best that it could be, but. Those minor nitpicks aside, and me really not liking, although I'm sort of fine with them now, the wall boost gimmick, and indeed that large horizontal jump dash move as well, and just not liking them initially because I just could not get the hang of them at all. I'm fine with the wall boost now. The other one maybe not quite so much, but it's only used. I only need to use it in 2 specific areas, so. I could, and that's the reason why I'm so bad at it, frankly, because I don't use it throughout the rest of the game. I can use the wall boost one. I have to use throughout the game, so it forces you to get good at it in order to clear various bits. That other gimmick, you only really need to clear 2 screens. Admittedly, at the end of a very long horizontal section, which is very annoying if you mess up, but you can clear the rest of the game without needing that gimmick or that mechanic. You only need to do it in those 2 very specific instances. But yeah, that first time around annoyed me, but other than that, this is just I cannot express how much I love this game. All the controls feel really tight. I say other than the occasional diagonal dashing, the gameplay is just so much fun. And far less frustrating, I think, than a Super Meat Boy or like an I Want to Be the Guy fan game, or one of the very difficult I Want to Be the Guy fan games. So, other than very specific areas, I don't feel like I got too frustrated with this. Again, other than the first time playthrough, perhaps with some of the mechanics and gimmicks that took a while to get used to. But just playing through normally, like through the A sides and even the B and most of the B sides, it was just so much fun. I love pretty much all the gimmicks and all the mechanics here. They're simple, they work. They're intuitively obvious what you need to do. I love all the exploration that you need to do here with finding all the finding the strawberries and the crystal hearts and whatnot. There's so many little hidden areas and things to explore, and some epic manoeuvres that you can pull off in doing it. I love the soundtrack. The soundtrack of this game is absolutely freaking phenomenal. I cannot praise that highly enough. Possibly one of my favourite soundtracks again of all time. It's relaxing when it needs to be, it's melancholy when it needs to be, it's sort of sad and reflective when it needs to be, it's upbeat and positive and gets you pumped up when it needs to be. The soundtrack is just a masterpiece. And the story again, I say I've not delved into that too deeply. Obviously I've done that quite a little bit while I've been going through the regular game or the regular chapters on the A or the so-dubbed A sides. But I mean, it's a really good story with a very good message kind of to tell, and touching on issues again that you don't see very much it's done too often in games as well. So I think the story is very heartwarming as well, and you really do even if you can't directly put yourself in Madeline's shoes, you really do empathise with her. You really do root for her. She's such a nice, wonderful character. There's nothing to dislike about her really at all. And yeah, you just can't help but root for Madeline. She's just such a wonderfully likable character that you just can't help want to do it for her, not even for yourself, but you want to do it for her sake. And again, for a game to sort of pull that feeling off is you've got a good game when you're just rooting for a character that just doesn't exist in real life. So yeah, I think that's not all I'm going to say. I'm going to try and keep this under an hour. I don't think I'll be another 2 minutes. But yeah, I'll probably just leave it there. This game is phenomenal. I hope you've enjoyed this Let's Play. If you've watched it all the way through and you haven't played it yet, then you're missing out. I said at the end of the first video, because I recommended there. If you sort of liked what you saw after the first chapter and you thought this was a game that you'd want to play, go buy it, go play it before you even watch this Let's Play. So hopefully by this point in time you've either got no interest in playing the game, which is unfortunate, or it's just not your style of thing, or you have now played through it and loved it as much as I have, because this is a fantastic game. I'm so pleased this Let's Play's gone really well. I haven't had to cut anything, haven't got too frustrated with it, or very frustrated with it at all. And this has been one of the most fun Let's Plays I've done. I love this game. I freaking love this game. So yeah, I will leave it there. If everything goes well, I'm really hoping that the next project will be Mega Man 10 Let's Play Perfect Runs. I've said I would get that out by the end of 2018, and I haven't got much time left. Again, I think this video is going to go up toward the end of October, beginning of November, so yeah, I haven't got much time left. So yes, here's hoping. Next up will be Mega Man 10 Let's Play Perfect Runs. So yeah, really looking forward to that. But yeah, I will leave it there. I will get this done. This will be under an hour. Only just, but it will be under an hour. Yeah, I'll leave it there. This has been Celeste. Hope you've enjoyed this Let's Play, and yeah, hope you join me next time for Mega Man 10. But until then, cheerio.